All right. Shalom. First and foremost, giving all praise, honor, glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Harabakakadash. Devil on his course to the apostle of his great millstone who rule well. Honest to you, I'm out there doing this work of truth and sincerity, presenting anybody living sacrifices to bring out this 144% truth to the hopeful elect/elect Akim that are scattered across the four corners of the globe. And of course, this is here Shalom to the hopeful one third, which consists of men, women, and children. I was looking for an article, something to edify with, but being that I couldn't really find nothing, that really sparked my spirit. We're just gonna jump into some basics real quick, and we're gonna get into, the book of Obadiah, which is, prophecies given to the prophet Obadiah, which is, just one chapter about the coming destruction of Esau, Edom, and really more so also why, and how, uh, this place, aka Babylon, the home and kind of capital of Esau, Edom is going to be destroyed. So without further ado, I'm going to jump right into it. This verse 1 says, the vision of Obadiah, thus saith the Lord concerning Edom, which is, Jacob's brother Esau, Edom being his people. We have heard a rumor from the Lord, and an ambassador sent among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us arise up against her in battle. So this is an ambassador being sent among the heathen, and we know that Israel is not considered the heathen per se. We can be likened to the heathen, but really, Israel, Jacob, our nation, the 12 tribes, is chosen. So this is an ambassador being sent to the other heathen nations outside of Esau, Edom, i.e. Ham, i.e., Ammon, Moab, Elam, Ishmael, and so on, to kind of put them in the battle spirit, raise the battle drum, so to speak. It says, "Arise ye and let's arise up against her in battle." So these heathen are basically like, let's rise, man. Let's get it. Because principally, man, they're tired of getting the short end of the stick, man. Esau's always winning, and Esau always finds a way to, get in these treaties, get in these contracts, get in these political situations with your country, where he's on the winning end, and you kind of are, for lack of a better word, at a lack for power, even in your own sovereign country, because of these oil pipeline deals, these aid packages, and so on and so forth, man. So these heathen nations are tired of being, economically castrated by the U.S. Man, Esau Edom here in the U.S. Um, what Esau likes to do in Africa is go loan a ridiculous amount of money to an African nation that they know really can't pay it back, and then all of a sudden, man, Esau's got their president, their government, by the proverbial balls, man, and it ain't much, you know, um, it ain't much they can do about it. So this angers countries because they're not getting a fair shake, and just like Jake more so than any of them, but we're in punishment right now. We're in this predicament because we went off, we pissed off the Most High. These heathen aren't under the covenant of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, so they aren't subject to being in a low estate like us. That's why they're in that warlike spirit. Jake, we're torn down to the very marrow, of our own manhood, and we couldn't even consider, nor am I even saying nothing stupid like trying to go up against Esau in this country, man. Get it how you live, man. You know what I'm saying? And legally, of course, by all means legally, and our job here as Israelites is to survive, man. It's to, um, do the work of the Heavenly Father, how about Shemi Shai foremost. And, I got to check myself, and I'm telling y'all right now, I'm going to start reading more, because I want to be edifying. I don't want to bring you the same scriptures over and over, and I can check myself as a man, you know what I'm saying? So I'm going to read more and read more. I should study, Slack, I should say study more, because reading without comprehending is wasting time, you see? So I'm going to study more for the benefit of whoever's listening to me, and I can check myself as a man and say that, you don't want to rest on your laurels, man. You don't want to be like that, that high school football player that was the shit, telling all his girlfriends, "Man, I was the shit, man. I just didn't have the no, man. But we got to give it our all here. So that's what I'm doing. I'm gonna give y'all my all. I'm reaffirming myself. Right now while I'm not working, I got time to study. That's what I'm gonna do. You know. So hold me to my word, Baba Kashai. Especially the Heavenly Father, Baba Kashai, hold me to my word. Because this is very important, and this is the most important thing we could ever do, and you don't want to take this thing for granted. But back to getting on track, so yeah, man, the heathen, they're upset with Esau, man. They realize that they are supposed to have some power too. You know what I'm saying? They ain't supposed to be necessarily, in their minds, they're not supposed to be subject to Esau, even though Esau was given the fatness of the earth, and that means the heathen as well. So they're trying to fight prophecy, which is going to culminate into this third world's woe. You see, because like we always teach, man, the beast is going to have to hate the whore at some point. You see what I'm saying? Right now, the whore is riding along the beast, and the beast is going along with the shits, basically. You see what I'm saying? So that's kind of where we're at in the story and prophecy. Um, Verse 2, it says, "Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen, thou art greatly despised." And what does that mean? That means that since 1945, when these atomic bombs were dropped after the Manhattan Project, for decades, the U.S. was the only nuclear capable country. I mean, you had Russia right there, pretty much right after, but you know Russia was in a severe disadvantage because we had already used them. We knew they were war capable, and the pilots actually survived. So, you know, they were in an advantaged state. But now you have countries such as Iran, North Korea is nuclear capable now. India has nuclear missiles. Pakistan's working on it. You see what I'm saying? Well, Iran is working on trying to acquire nuclear material. Um, However, these things are hard to come by, when the U.S. is running and sanctioning everything. That's going to be one of the reasons that Iran and, these other nations, uh, so lucky. I just had to check on something real quick. But yeah, that's one of the reasons, Iran's, going to stir the pot at some point because, that's the Persian. And, pursuing Ezekiel 38, they will partner with Gog and Magog, the Russian. But, continuing on, it says, "The pride of thine heart has deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock." And that's pursuing going back to, Mount Petra, Mount Seir, and the Edomite actually living in, the mountain, in the cave, not even really having language and um, culture or anything of the sort. And this is why when the Edomite, got back into power, they spent, some time, you know, learning people's languages, learning their culture, learning how to be a civilized, well, not necessarily a civilized society, but a society, nonetheless. Um, you know, um, it's it's ironic that now they call themselves civilized, but they spent you know so many centuries in the cave, man. So this is why he's saying, "Thou who dwellest in the clefts of the rock." You see, um, uh, Mount Petra, Mount Seir. As you think about the picture that pops in your mind where they have, the Roman architecture pillars long before Rome was, a country. They had, those pillars that Esau's so used to, which is crazy, you know, um, because it goes to show you. Well, it's not crazy. It's just ironic because it goes to show you that they don't change. That Roman centric architecture, that Greek, and they do pay a lot of homage to the Egyptian. They do pay a lot of homage to Babylon and Mesopotamia, principally the principal nations that had Jacob in captivity. You see, um, because they were efficient kingdoms that were able to house the sons of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, man, and or the sons of Yahweh, man, um, and have them in subjection. You know, Salaki, I keep getting interrupted. Um, but um, so Esau pays homage to these cultures, man. Through his architecture, through his art, and even sometimes through his legislation. Whose habitation is high. Esau loves these skyscrapers. He loves, living on the top of these hills. But he also has the International Space Station. So this is describing, kind of the traits of Esau or Edom. The nation. That saith in his heart, "Who shall bring me down to the ground?" And that's the pride of this nation, America, especially going back a few decades. Nobody ever thinks that anybody can handle America. They'll never lose, and, the American pride and, come and take it mentality. You ever see them country boys in their truck and they got that coiled serpent, Esau knows he's the serpent, man. He's telling you to come and take it, man. Which, I find ironic. you know, um, Verse 4, thou exalt thyself as the eagle. What's the national bird here in the U.S.? What's the eagle? What's the national bird of the ancient Romans? The eagle. See what I'm saying? You go back to the Greek pantheon of the gods. What did they have as pets, man? Some of the major ones, eagles, man. You see, so we have to look at, who he's describing. What's the nation ruling the planet right now? Esau, Edom, the U.S., man. The global police force, they call it, and what is that? What's on their flag, man? The eagle, man. The highest flying bird. This is why they use the eagle, because it's the highest flying bird, you see? And though I set thy nest amongst the stars, you got that International Space Station. Thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord. So this is only for a season, what the Lord is saying, a temporary season. Will you guys be in rulership? Will you guys have your foot on the necks of the Israelites principally, and only for a season will you rule over the heathen, Verse 5, if thieves came to thee, if robbers by night. So it's saying if. So this is a question, a rhetorical question. Would they not have stolen till they had enough? Question mark. If the grape gatherers came to thee, would they not have left some gleaning grapes? Gleaning grapes, so like it. That's kind of hard to say. But, it's a rhetorical question, because, usually, a little petty thief, somebody that's taken just to survive and eat, they're going to take their fill, They're not going to necessarily take everything, but you have to be, truly evil to do what you've done to Jacob and take not only our heritage away from us, but then to call yourself us and then go live in our land and dwell in our house, man. So guess what? Most High is going to do that to you double, man. You're not going to have anything left standing. You will have no history, man. There's not going to be no remembrance for you Edomites of America, man. And after 1,000 years of your captivity, you guys get done away with. You guys get exterminated because of what you did to Jacob, man. You took his culture, you raped his women. See what I'm saying? Or I should say our women. You did all these things to us, man. And then on top of that, you sit in Israel and you call yourself the true Jew. And you look down on the true Jew, which is the North American Negro. You see what I'm saying? Regardless of how you feel about that, yeah, there's some Judites in the Caribbean. Yeah, there's some Judites in, Jamaica. We mix amongst each other. But the real Jew is here, the Negro in Native America. Excuse me, in North America, man. However you feel about that. You Caribbean tribes are more or less Benjamin and Levi, man. For the most part, the multitude. It's really, y'all ain't deal with most of what we had to deal with here up under this motherfucking devil, man. You see what I'm saying? And that's just what it is. We fit the prophecy, But continuing on, it's not really the case. We ain't hating on no brothers. We love all y'all. We love all y'all heritages. You guys got beautiful people, beautiful culture. So it's not a slight to my brothers Benjamin and Levi. You know, just grabbing and representing what is us, man. Because we've had everything taken from us. We don't have a culture like the Haitian does, the so-called Haitian, which is the Levite. We don't have a culture like the Jamaican does, the so-called Benjamite. See what I'm saying? Because we were expected to do more. We were expected to keep the nation in check, man. You know? Verse 6. How are the things that Esau searched out? How are his hidden things set up? That's the Most High, man. The Most High puts the Spirit on, the elders and apostles on down, to give them the truth, to break down these words of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding unto us. And on the flip side, he also puts his spirit on these heathen, these Edomites, to expose each other, man, so that we can further edify the truth, man. Verse 7, all the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. So all these countries that you gave aid to, all these countries that, you put in these secret meetings with yourselves, when you meet with these Arab sheiks and shit like that, man, they laid a wound under you. They took your money. Yeah, they might have went along with the plan and the situation for a get-go. But see, when you can't do things on your own and you got to take and you got to steal and you got to subvert people, it makes you very, very weak because you're relying on an alliance instead of really yourself, your own people, you see? So they laid a wound under you. Because, they're taking your bread, but they're going to use that same technology you gave them to launch those missiles right over here, just like you were to launch them right at us, man. And, yeah. And it says there was none understanding in him, because you think that you're so much smarter than all the other heathen, because the Most High gave you the compliment, and you're not the type of kid that deals with positive coaching. Well, you need negative coaching, Esau, because the Most High said that you're wiser than Jacob, wiser than Daniel. So you believe that you can pull the wool over everybody's eyes, and that's only because for a time the Most High allowed it. But now, to show the power of the Most High, just like he said in his word, where he would raise that valley of dry bones, he did. And now you have brothers across the four corners of the globe teaching, preaching, and returning unto their power, man. Repenting of their old ways and becoming, the true sons of the Heavenly Father. And that scares you, Shall I not in that day, saith the Lord, even destroy the wise men out of Edom and understanding out of the mount of Esau? So, the irony is when these nukes hit, you see, he's going to destroy the wise men. You see, the wise men and T-men are going to be put in chains of captivity just like every other Edomite, man. And they were the ones principally responsible for the thermonuclear ICBM. You see, you needed people like Hermann Goering, well, not Hermann Goering, but the guy's name, I want to say Oppenheimer or whatever. That's one of the top Nazi scientists, is part of one of the heads of NASA, And, that wisdom is going to be destroyed, man. You're almost too wise for your own good, man, Verse 9, and the mighty men of Teman shall be dismayed to the end that every one of the Mount Esau may be cut off by slaughter. Yeah, you ain't no German engineer getting you out of this, man. For the violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. So, this is the Most High telling you why. Because of your violence against your brother Jacob. Jacob was your brother. You were, You were a Hebrew. You're not necessarily an Israelite. You weren't the 12 tribes, but of your brother. However, you were a Hebrew. You were a son of Isaac. You were a son of Abraham. This is why you have so much power. This is why you rule. This is why, for a time, America was the pinnacle of society. You were a Hebrew, Esau, but guess what? You shall be cut off forever because of the violence against your brother Jacob. When you should have been looking out, when you should have been giving Jake amnesty, when you should have been doing all these other things, when we were at it with the other heathen, you did the opposite. You partnered with these people. You made compact covenants with the heathen. You you conspired against us, man. Verse 11, in the day that thou stoodest on the side, in the day that the strangers carried away captive his forces, and foreigners entered in his gates, and cast lots upon Jerusalem, even thou was one of them. See? So, like I just said, instead of, being a brother to your brother Jacob, you decided that you were going to partner with the heathen instead of necessarily you are a Hebrew, your own people. That's the simplest way to put it. A lot of y'all brothers, y'all make it seem like Esau is not a relation to Jacob. Yes, he is. This is the book of Obadiah that talks about his coming destruction. Verse 10 says that they're in Most High's eyes, they're brothers. Nigga, don't be brand new in this truth. And because you get a little bit of clout, you think you fucking know everything. Jacob and Esau are brothers, bro. And this is what is going to scare the heathen, into subjection after that 1,000 years. Because just like our brother did us, we're going to do him double, man. And cut them off forever. You see? You see how that shows more power in the Heavenly Father? Stop thinking you know everything, man. Slow down. This is why you have people in your camp. You ain't a one-man camp. Unless you want to go do that shit. He carried away captive his forces and foreigners under his gates, cast lots upon Jerusalem, even that was one of them. Yeah, man, that was you, bro. Verse 12, but thou shouldest not have looked on the day of thy brother in the day that he became a stranger, neither shouldest thou have rejoiced over the children of Judah in the day of their destruction. So, you shouldn't even rejoice, my man. But not only did you rejoice, but you took part, man. So you were getting your rocks off to it too, man. Over the children of Judah in the day of their destruction, neither shouldest thou have spoken proudly in the day of distress. You shouldn't have seen the collapse of the Heavenly Father's chosen as a good thing, man. But you decided that it was a good thing, man, and you rejoiced over it, man. And that was enough to kindle the anger of the Heavenly Father, man. Though thou shouldest not have entered in the gate of my people in the day of their calamity, thou shouldest not have looked on their affliction in the day of their calamity, nor laid hands on their substance in the day of their calamity. So the Most High backing me up. He said, motherfucker, you shouldn't have even looked upon us in that day. But guess what? You decided to lay hands on our substance, man. And call it your own. Call yourselves the true Jews. And where's the 10 other tribes, man? Where the 11 other tribes? Where my 11 other brothers at, man? Where Benjamin? Where Levi? Where Simeon? Where Reuben? Where Gad? Where Naphtali? Where Asher? Where Manasseh? Verse 14, this is what gets you right here, boy. Neither shouldest thou have stood in the crossway to cut off those that did escape. So you couldn't even, that was a normal thing. Allow the people, to somewhat flee, you know what I'm saying? They get out of the battle space. At least the battle space, because, the people conquered other people and, took the women as brides and put them into slavery, But you did this to the children of the Heavenly Father, man, and those that were trying to run and try to escape, of the people, you slaughtered. You didn't even, not even use them as slaves. You're going to slaughter them, you see? Neither shouldest thou have delivered up those of his that did remain in the day of distress. So you could have at least made them servants, you know what I'm saying? You delivered them up to their enemy. For the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen, as thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thy own head. You see? So as you've done, starting with principally Judah, because you did us the worst, man. You know? Period, point blank. You know, you did Judah the absolute worst, man. And that's just fucking plain and simple. You know? Gad got their reservations, man. And Gad is really all through South America as well, you know. So, and Canada, you know. So, Judah got it the worst, bro. Yes, and next is worse would be Gad, you see. You know. But, you know, you did Judah the worst, man. So guess what? Look, man, you got Jake with degrees and shit. Your kids couldn't even fucking goddamn pass, man. Subjects your kids don't even want to study. I want to study something easy, Dad. You know, you got brothers with engineering degrees, all sort of type of education. They can't find no type of work, man, because you you do that HR fucking screen on them. Oh, he has a black voice. He got a nigga name. No, thank you. You gonna sit there and wait so long for Edomite to come in your office that it's gonna be destroyed, man. See, that's that wound being laid under you, Esau. You think that you're smart and wise and you get off on watching Jake struggle. That's just a detriment to you. All that. Let's be real. There's probably 1 or 2 million jobs in America that can be filled by highly educated, overqualified Jake. Not necessarily saying that we want to help you, Esau, but, you know, man's got to eat, right? You see what I'm saying? And we, you know, have skills just like we did in slavery when y'all motherfucking crackers, you know, couldn't even read or write. Well, you could read or write, but, you know, you didn't have to do anything. You had no skills. Couldn't change a tire, couldn't groom horses, couldn't till the land, you know, couldn't build homes. That was all Jake, man, you know? And because you want to shit on Jake, guess what? Basic economics, you know, the laws of, you know, not even the laws of America, but basic economics and, you know, just a quick study of, you know, human history will show you. You don't have a overqualified, overeducated sector of people that your society absolutely needs, and that you ostracize these people, and anything good happens to your society. You know, this is why we're not a racist thing. This is why we're not black Hebrew Israelites. See what I'm saying? Because when you get into debates of color, it shows your ignorance and your small-minded, vague thinking, man. Well, how could you ever think that you were the smartest people in the world, but you're the world's minority? Collectively speaking. Wouldn't it be at least an Indian or a Chinese kid over you that would be, statistically speaking, would be more likely to be higher educated? Well, isn't it, if for every one Edomite that's considered a genius IQ, how many do you think are in China that you don't want to disclose? Or India? Or Pakistan? Or Bangladesh? You know? Or right here in America, the so-called Negro, you see? So, all these things that you've done are going to return upon your own head. So when the Most High says, I'm tired of seeing this kingdom, do away with it, you know, like he's done with every kingdom previous, including his own, including Jerusalem, the true Jerusalem, you see, all these things are going to return upon your own head, you know, and all that harsh treatment, all that secret racism, all that shit is going to return upon your own head, man. You know, it's not going to be a color thing. It's going to be an Edomite thing. He's an Edomite. How do we know? We have spiritual power. We know he's an Edomite. You know, I'm not saying we, you know, Lord willing, if he ever had mercy. I don't want to say if he ever had mercy, but if he did have mercy on me, I would love to be, you know, of that number with spiritual power, but it's not up to me. I can only do what I'm commanded to do as a man. You know, but yeah. So, That's going to return upon your own head, man. There's not going to be any opportunity for you. And you're damn sure not going to be in the kingdom where men get to have peace and you brought nothing but heartache and destruction to the world, man. So I'm going to jump down to verse 18 and we'll close, man. This is your future, man. And it says, and the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame. So this is the northern and southern kingdom coming together, you see, being put back together, and the house of Esau for stubble. So the house of Jacob is going to be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and you're going to be the stubble that we burn up, man. And they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Lord hath spoken it. So at the end of your 1,000 years of captivity, there's going to be a big bonfire, man. And this is not because, I'm an angry black man. And this is not because of no black retribution type shit. This is what I'm just reading out of the book of Obadiah in the King James Bible, man. This is your judgment according to the Lord, according to the things that you have done and the things that you continue to do and the things that you will continue to do until the Lord ultimately allows the thermonuclear missiles to be sent on this place, because you're going to go even further. You're going to try to brand everybody and tag us like we're fucking human cattle and say, well, you're not going to get paid and you're not going to eat, and you're going to try to play the Most High. And because you try to play the Most High, because you try to go further than any ruler has ever gone in the history of mankind, you're going to get the worst possible judgment ever. It's simple. You're going past what Nebuchadnezzar did. You're going past what King Darius did, Xerxes, Alexander, Titus and Vespasian. Any of these evil rulers that hated Jacob, in Israel. You're going past what they did with this MOTV, man. You're going to make the saints of the Lord starve for no reason other than you want more control over them than you already have. But yet, the Lord has arisen us up. We haven't had no Nat Turner revolt in damn near, 150 years? See what I'm saying? So, just understand, the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble, And they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Lord hath spoken it. And that's why, man. Because even going back to the ancient world, the Most High, as merciful as He is, you've never attempted to change. You've never even seen anything wrong in yourself, Esau, to even for anything. And even your European brothers, man, abolished slavery before you here in America. This is why it's going down here. Why do you think that? Because at least the British might have enough sense. Like, man, we're doing too much of these people, man. Granted, we're not going to say the UK is not fucking totally racist. No, I hear what my brothers in the UK go through. I watch their camps every week, man. I hear what my brothers in Holland go through. I watch their camps every week. I hear what my brothers in all these different countries go through. I'm not saying these other Edomites are better, but at least they had sense, man. So this is why, because you were the ones that said, we're going to have our own slaves and we can't buy them, we'll breed them. So you were going to pay for them, man. You were going to really see what it's like to be the basis of men. We were put in the place of the basis of men. We've never been the basis of men. We've never been the lowest. So imagine what happens when your people are put in this position. And you have to shuck and jive to your Israelite master from whatever tribe. I wanted to say Judah, What's it going to be like then, man? You think it's going to be a hard thing for your wives not to turn to some nigga love? Even though they was doing that when we were slaves? How much more will we rule over you, man? You're not going to have nobody in your fucking corner, man. You see what I'm saying? And it's justly deserved, man. All praise, honor, glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Abakakwadash. Double honors to the apostle, this radio, Sony rule well. Honest you Akim out there, present your body as a living sacrifice, week in and week out, to bring this 144% truth to the hopeful elect / elect Akim scattered abroad through the four corners of the globe. Sincere shalom to the hopeful 1/3 men, women, children, and you have Bashim Yashar about the Zav's better fun.